Morning and a very warm welcome to our Customer Day 2021 from the Best Western Windmill Hotel in Coventry. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us, and we're really pleased about the attendance. It's great to have so many of you here with us today. I'm sure many of you are already aware that PTFS Europe work in just about all library sectors: academic, public, health, government, and so on. And that's something we're very proud of. And that actually in the marketplace there are very few vendors who cover such a large spectrum. We believe that's a sort of testament to the flexibility of Co and the other products we work with. And it's great to see such a broad range of customers from those different sectors here today. So consequently, the agenda is wide and varied today, and it covers many of those sectors that we work in. And we'd very much urge you to stick around for the whole day and to take a look at what our customers are up to, even if the sector doesn't seem totally relevant to you. We believe there's a lot of synergy between different sectors. And even if the information may not be useful to you today, then it could be tomorrow, maybe next year or the year after that. We're also very proud to be celebrating our 14th anniversary yesterday, actually, and we're grateful to all of you who have chosen to support us and work with us over those many years, and some of you have been with us a very long time, so we're very grateful for that. I'd particularly like to thank those of you who have taken time to put together presentations for today, both our staff here and you, our customers. We do appreciate it takes a lot of time out of your busy schedules, and we're very grateful, for taking the time to do that. And we're very sure that the audience will appreciate those presentations as well today. We're really disappointed that we had to turn today into a virtual conference again. The feedback we received from you and also the current COVID climate meant that an in-person event was going to be very difficult at best. But that said, we're very much hoping that this will be the last all-day virtual event. I mean, we will, of course, continue to do all the short online content we've been doing over the past year, which has been very much appreciated. And we're already talking about doing an in-person event in 2022, and we very much hope that you'll be as keen as we are to get back together again and to meet with each other again. You'll notice in the agenda a little bit later on that Andrew Farthing from Sefton Libraries is talking, and he was at pains to remind me of how good the food was when we did last meet at Aston University at the conference centre there. And the staff at Sefton did suggest it'd be great for everyone to have a Danish pastry during the morning coffee break, perhaps provided by Deliveroo. So if you do hear a knock at your door later on, you never know. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping. We'd be grateful if you could keep your microphone muted during the talks, but do please feel free to ask questions of the speakers at the appropriate time. Alternatively, you can use the chat feature both in Zoom and on YouTube. Both of those will be monitored, and we'll endeavour to answer your questions there. If you drop out of the meeting at any time, do use the links which we provided in the email that we sent out, and someone will actually post those links back into the chat as well, so you can make a note of just in case you do drop out. The session after lunch is a breakout session, and in topic 1 and topic 2 sessions, there will be time actually after the formal presentation for some open discussion. And at that point, you're free to literally bring any topic forward that you want to perhaps discuss, get a bit of advice on, share something with other people. And we'll have PTFS Europe staff on hand there ready to answer your questions. So I think that's all from me. We hope you enjoyed the day. And I'm now going to hand over to Andrew Auld, our Commercial Director, and he'll give you some background into exactly what we've been up to over the past 12 months. Thank you very much.
So good morning, everybody. It's very nice to be giving you a bit of news about what's been happening at PTFS Europe over the past year or so. First of all, I thought I'd just show you a slide of the picture from us yesterday. Eilish, if you've moved me on one slide, please. I think we might be. Great, sorry for that slight technical hitch. I think we're sorted now. So I just wanted to go through our news over the past 12 months. First of all, I wanted to introduce some new team members. Eilish, I've just mentioned actually, and I'll come on to talk about the great work Eilish is doing in the background of today to keep us technically running smoothly. But our new team members have come about after some retirements that we had in the team. So Nick Phipps, Colin Campbell, and Leslie Jones all retired from PTFS Europe in the last 12 months. We were actually really delighted at our first in-person company meeting 3 months ago that they were able to come back and join us in person, and we were able to give them a proper send-off, because obviously during the lockdown period we weren't able to do that. And I'm sure many of you have come across Nick, Colin and Leslie over your time with PTFS Europe. Those retirements have enabled us to add some new members to the team. And starting with, we've got Eilish, as I've mentioned, Aude Charion, who's a customer services consultant. And we've also been joined by Jake, our infrastructure technician, and Nathan Bimbe, who's joined us most recently as a customer services consultant. So on the next slide, you'll see that this is a picture of us yesterday. And apart from Jonathan's dismembered head, you might recognize everyone else. And then on the left-hand side of the picture, Nathan at the front there, then Aude, Lucy and Bernard, and then we've got Eilish and Jake towards the back left of the picture there. So those are faces that hopefully you'll get familiar with as they start to meet you in person and on virtual sessions as well. I wanted to just talk about the new customers that have joined us over the last year. So we've had many. We've got a whole range of customers joining from right across a spectrum of different sectors. Earlier on in the year, right in December, Plymouth Marjon completed their migration to us, and Ravensbourne University as well, both using Koha and Metabase. We were also then joined in the spring by the College of Optometrists. The University of West London kicked off a big migration to Koha, Metabase and Coral in the spring, which was completed over the summer. And concurrent with that, we were working with De Montfort University and the Scottish Government on their migrations. De Montfort are using DSpace for their repository of articles and journals. And then the Scottish Government have undertaken a migration to Koha as well. Following those, over the summer, we've had a few projects running too. Royal Marsden have joined the South London Health Library System. We've had YAML, who have also migrated to support from PTFS Europe on their Koha system. And ETF, another international organization, also moved to PTFS Europe support for their Koha system. And then more recently, we've been working with the Newcastle Colleges Group and the Manchester College on their migrations to Koha. And Durham County Council, the Durham Learning Resources team there, we're working with them on moving their system, their in-house system to COA. And then I should also mention the RNN group. This is another group of colleges in the Rotherham area that migrated to COA during the year too. So we've had an awful lot of projects, major projects going on throughout the year. The major projects aren't the only thing that we're doing. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of work going on. I mentioned Jake and the infrastructure team. He's joined John Turner and John McGowan, and they undertake, as well as being part of the major migrations, they undertake a huge amount of work on mini projects. Things like connecting SIP2 devices. The project teams are involved in training. John's team are working on authentication, data manipulation, and then always we're focused on enhancing the security and the performance of your systems. And just there's a small word at the end there that says upgrades, but it's not a small task that John and his team undertake all throughout the year. And John reported yesterday that during the last 12 months, they've undertaken over 75 system upgrades, major system upgrades across our customers. So that's a major piece of work that we're always working on as well. Then on the support side, David, led by David Roberts and supported by the customer services team, we receive a huge number of support tickets every month. And this is a graph just showing those support tickets during the last 12 months. And you can see that perhaps as libraries have come out of some COVID closure and so on, but just also generally reflecting the increasing number of customers we have do have an increasing trend in support tickets coming through, which is great. You know, we love to be able to support you by having live interactive support with you. It means we're helping to keep your libraries running, to keep your systems doing what you need them to do for you. So support's a very important and major part of what we do all throughout the time you have with us as a customer. Martin gave an update yesterday also about what's been going on from a development point of view and with the various open source communities we work with. On the COA side, we have been actively involved in the latest 2 releases and have contributed majorly to both the 21.05 and the 21.11 release. And then we're also heavily involved in testing and quality assurance, signing off 12% of the quality sign-offs and undertaking 15%. This is globally. PTFS Europe have undertaken 15% of the quality checks done in 2021. So that's a major contribution that Martin and his team has to keeping the bugs in COA moving through the process and getting into the new releases, so that when we do an upgrade, you get the benefit of those fixes. It's not just bugs and fixes that we get involved in. We're also still undertaking significant development, both in COA and in other systems. So a couple of pieces of development we've done in COA this year. The rapid ILL integration with COA is going to be talked about later. Andrew Isherwood did that bit of development, and he'll be doing a presentation about that later on. Martin did an integration, another payment, online payment integration with Barclaycard for UWL. And then we've also, Andrew has been heavily involved in getting into development in the Folio system and working with the Folio development community. And we were delighted when he got his very first app into the core Folio code, which was a similar version of the copyright licensing permissions check app that you may have seen in COA. And he's replicated that functionality in Folio for the Folio product. But more significantly, he's been working very hard on a new application in Folio for interlibrary lending that's going to specifically cater for the UK market. And we're looking forward to seeing that coming into Folio in the spring of 2022. Finally, in COA, Martin is going to be talking to you later about some very live development work that he's undertaking with Durham on collections and bookings in COA. But I'm not going to steal his thunder by saying any more about that. And there's been more that we've been undertaking. So we've renewed our ISO 27001 certification. That's very important from the point of view of the security around the data that we look after for you and our processes. We've continued with our range of online events, running both sector-specific events, but also our fortnightly What's on Our Mind videos, our regular online discussions. And just a couple of days ago, we were back in person at the SILIP showcase, supplier showcase event, which is always great fun. And it was great to meet some libraries interested in joining COA in the future. And we continue to work with the open source communities that we've worked with for many years now. In particular, we're working with Bywater and BibLibra on a couple of future development projects for COA. We continue to work very closely with EBSCO around Folio and around the integration of EDS with COA. And we're also very delighted to be now working as part of the new open source community around the Aspen product. And our next session, which we're going to move on to in a second, is actually a chat that I had with Mark Noble, but more on that in a second. I just wanted to finish by showing the little picture of us as a team again and saying, this is the team that does all that work. We're really delighted to work with you, but we're quite a small team. And we like that because it means that we actually do get to know you personally as customers. And we look forward to working with you during the next 12 months as well.